Good evening. This is your host, Felicia Alexander Branch with Urban Chick Chatter. Today our topic is love games. We're going to talk about love games between singles, dating people, whatever type of relationship you're in, man, woman, woman, man, woman, woman, man, man. But we're going to talk about love games. In my viewing of a couple of relationships that I see across the board, just here, there, on social media, in person, pretty much people like to play love games. And when I say love games, I mean you play with people's feelings. And that doesn't, what I'm saying is that even includes friends, acquaintances. We can't play these love games with people, because my thing is, if you're going to be acquainted with people, you need to learn how to be true and be your truth of who you are. Don't come to that person in their weak time trying to play on their feelings. And that still applies across the board in any type of relationship. And I noticed that people try to play on people, and then when people come back and retaliate, they want to get mad. But it becomes deadly sometimes. Sometimes these deadly love games become where people are getting unalived, if you know what that means. It's coming where people are being put in predicaments where they're being held with beyond their will, if you get what I'm saying. Where they can't leave that house, they're forced to stay there under duress. In marriages, sometimes people are put in a situation where people are going into these marriages under the assumption that this person has this, what they're saying that they have, and then next we know that they don't have what they say they have, what they bring it to the table. And also in dating, people tend to want to just bring anything to the table. You can't just bring your baggage on other people. And it's vice versa. A person could be in a good place at one time, and then they fall victim to certain mental situations, and then they're putting that pressure on that other person because they want that person's opinion. That person wants to stand away from trying to give their opinion, because sometimes when you can give your opinion, it can sometimes make the situation worse. And I've seen that happen before, where you can give your opinion, you try to stay neutral and try to console that person, but when you give your opinion, they come back and blame you and say you're the reason why you're not friends with this person, why they're not married anymore, why they're in a turmoil at home, and all this other stuff. But we can't blame other people for when we're in these hostile situations, when we're in these anxiety situations. We have to learn to cope and deal with our own situations and stop trying to bring it on other people when we on these what we call roller coaster highs. When we on a roller coaster high, if you're not in the mood right now to talk to a person, or as in texting that person, try to refrain off of your phone or talking to that person, because you can't take words back that you put out or text. Because words are very powerful. And we have to understand that. And when you stereotype people saying that there are certain words, that's very hurtful. And like I said, I don't elaborate on situations, but, I've had a couple of situations where, my character was challenged. And I felt very offended, because I'm not that type of person. I'm very genuine. I'm very supportive. I will go above and beyond, showing up to different things, making phone calls for people, and different things like that. But these love games, we have to stop playing with people. So when you feel in a certain way about a person, and if a person comes to you in a certain way trying to help you, and you feel that that person is trying to make it about their self or something to that sort, that's not very true. Because sometimes that person might be trying to be too helpful, and it gets them into that space where they overstep their boundaries sometimes. But we have to understand that some people, when they come to be a help, try to accept it and try to look past what is going on, no matter if you're in the midst of a whole bunch of stuff going on at one time. settle down, back off, gather yourself, and decide what you're going to say, when you're going to say it, and how you're going to say it. Because sometimes if you say things at the spur of the moment, it may come out in a bad way. Or the person on the receiving end might take it in a bad way. But you didn't mean it in a bad way. But what you sent across that communication line was in a very bad and negative way that the receiver took it as being hurtful. You may
in
not,
half a mile, keep left to continue on Texas 73 West.
Sorry, y'all, I'm traveling. You may not have meant that hurtful way, but that receiver took it in that hurtful way. And so the person that's delivering the message needs to take and adhere to what they're sending to a person. And when you just change up on a person, calling them one thing, and then you're calling them and addressing them as a totally different name what you've been calling them, you know, it's something wrong with that. Because why would you be calling that person one thing at one time, then when you get into a certain block of mind, you change the way you call that person and the tone how you address that person. So we as people, I understand we are human. Things happen. But we need to take our time and back off when a situation arises. Step away from it. Don't answer it right then and there. Because that answer right then and there, that may cause an acquaintanceship, that may cause a friendship, that may cause you being friends as single people, dating people, married people, or whatever. Baby mama, daddy, baby daddy, whatever. But we as mentors and mentees have to learn how to work together. Because sometimes the mentor may get in their certain zone and say things to a mentee, and vice versa. A mentee may say something to a mentor that when they say it didn't mean to come out that way. But you can't take words back, especially if they have been spoken, written, voicemailed, emailed, sent by somebody else as a third-party conversation. So make sure you clarify what you meant when you send things in whatever form of communication you're sending in. Because like I said, words are very powerful. You can't take them back. The best thing that you can do is either try to go back and retract what you have done, read what you have put out, and try to get with that person and explain to them what was going on at their given time. I know we don't owe anybody anything, but at the same time as us being entrepreneurs, serialpreneurs, millionaires, billionaires, regular people, start-off people, beginning, whatever stage you're in your life, we have to learn. Words are very powerful. And y'all can see I'm emphasizing that because words can hurt people. If you don't understand that. You can be invited to an event where one set of people say you can come to it, well, the next set of people say, well, no, you can't come to that. Well, I feel like this. If you're asking this person to donate their money or whatever, and then at the last minute you turn around back door and you refund this person that money, you need to give them an explanation why. And I'm going to say this. Right now, we have a lot of places that's across the country that are changing school systems. And when I mean that, they're making school system mega school system. What I'm saying when I say mega school system, they're taking the small schools and putting them all into one big school. So therefore, sometimes they may have events where people used to belong to other schools, but now you have what they call still individual school because of the names that you went to. But at the same time, if you're going to sponsor an event and that person at one time was crossed between several schools at one point in time, I don't see why that person should not be able to participate. Because if you ask that person to donate their money and then at the last minute because certain people in the group got in their feelings, you know, we all should be able to get together as a collective no matter what name of school you went to or whatever. And I'm not saying it to pick on anybody. I'm just saying these are from life experiences that I have went through. And I'm quite sure other people have went through that too, but they won't speak on it. And like I said, you know, we have to learn the love game. You need to practice the love game. And when I say practice the love game, that means when Somebody gets up in the morning with you, you say good morning, how you doing? Or have a blessed day, or you leave them a little sexy note or whatever, depending on what relationship you're in, or if you're by yourself at home. Find someone to call every day, or at least once a week, and check in on them. That's part of what we call the love game. So, to say this, to say that, I'm going to end this podcast with, make sure you check in with somebody, because you never know when it's your last day here and when it's your last day to be called on home. This is Felicia Alexander Branch on the hottest urban podcast on Spotify, Buzzsprout, iHeartRadio, FM radio, and other platforms across the United States, international, which is abroad. And it's a pleasure coming to y'all with the love game. I will be dropping other podcasts. If you have any suggestions, leave me a comment. You're welcome to go to my Black Angel Publishing and Media email, which is Black Angel Publishing and Media, and it's media, PHUBLISHING with an S, not with a Z, according to my Instagrams. Or make it simple as that, you can send me a DM on my Dependable Angel Service on Facebook, Dependable Angel Service 1 on Instagram DM, on TikTok under PA_littlebit409, or you could drop me a message on Facebook, like I said, in the direct message, Instagram under the direct message on my Black Angel Publishing and Media. I'm not hard to find. You can find me pretty much on all social media. Type my name in, Felicia Alexander Branch, is going to come up. And if you can't find me, go to my Dependable Angel Service on my YouTube channel and leave me a comment on one of my videos in reference to my Urban Chick Chatter on Spotify and across all other podcast media stations. Be blessed. Have a blessed weekend. Have a safe holiday for those that celebrate holidays. Those that don't still have a safe Monday. Be prepared to go to work from home, or however y'all doing y'all, whatever side hustles. Let's get it in. This is your hottest urban podcast, Felicia Alexander Branch with Urban Chick Chatter. Have a nice and blessed day. Bye-bye.